Okay, so let's talk about printer nozzles and wall thicknesses. So what I've been working on with this Canary project, I've been working with a 0.6 nozzle. So the standard is 0.4, but 0.6, understandably, it's just that little bit bigger, so things get built a little bit quicker without too much deterioration in accuracy. So one of the things I've realized is if I put the layer height at the coarsest setting, the quickest setting, which is 0.32 layer, you can see there are actually some quite noticeable imperfections here. Whereas if I do it at the 0.2, this looks much better. I also should probably mention that one of the things I've done is that if you try to build the wall thicknesses relative to the multiple of the nozzle width, you tend to get sort of much more efficient results when you look at the slicer. So if you go into the slicer and you look at the preview, you'll hopefully see nice clean layers where it's got at least two runs down the line, which I think is a good reliable thickness. And so what you don't want is, for example, to do a 1mm wall with a 0.6 nozzle, because then it's left going, it's not quite an integer, it's not quite a whole number. Whereas I found that if you've got, usually 3 times or just a little bit shy, you tend to have the nozzle almost like weld the difference in the middle. So with 0.6 and a 1.5mm, and I played around with the settings of the 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and I found that basically 0.5, for whatever reason, working with the Cura, seemed to give a really nice reliable edge. And I think what it's doing is that basically it's doing 0.6 twice, like sort of train tracks, and then it does a little weld every so often in the middle to make sure that they stick together. And you might be thinking, well, 0.6 times 2 is 1.2, and then the next one up would be 0.8. Why aren't you doing 1.2 or 1.8? The truth is, it's just trial and error. The math says it should be that, but practice of building this, that's just what is working best. So I think it's, as much as we'd like to think printers are highly robotic and logical things, it's also a little bit down to the particular filament. So I'm using Erione with this, but I've also had it working with RS Pro, and it gives a very similar comparable result. And I'd just say that that's really the thing to do, is design your model to work with the final best setting, because that's what you do at the end, but be comfortable working in the rough coarse print just for speed, so that you can iterate more quickly. So I hope that's useful.